Live from Fox 5, welcome to the News Block.
And breaking news on the news block today, the key interest rate gets cut for the very first time in 9 months. And even more cuts could be coming. And out of luck, it is no dice. The proposal for a Times Square and a West Side casino rejected in a vote today by the community advisory committees. And he is picking up even more support. Democratic candidate for New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani gets another endorsement from a big name in New York politics. Good afternoon. I'm Linda Schmidt. We begin with that breaking news right out of Washington. The Feds cut the key interest rate today by 1/4 point after much anticipation from economists. And the markets, well, they are responding in a positive way as expected. At the closing bell, the Dow is up 260 points at the close of the trading day. Of course, my colleague Fox 5's Antoine Lewis is following all of this developing right now, and he is in the newsroom. Antoine, what have you got for us?
Linda, the Fed hasn't cut the interest rate, as you pointed out, since December, and this cut is keeping in line with expectations. So this afternoon, the interest rate was cut 1/4 point. Benchmark interest now stands at a new target range of 4 to 4.25%, 4.25%. So, Indy, what does this mean to you? We'll start with auto loans. Now, auto loans are not expected to decline anytime soon. Now, while the rate cut will contribute to eventual relief, analysts say it might be slow in arriving. So there's that. Now let's talk mortgages. The website bankrate.com says that for prospective home buyers, the market has already priced in the rate cut, which means it's unlikely to make a noticeable difference for consumers. Right now, that'll be over time. Let's talk credit cards. Expect some relief if your credit card debt is low to medium. Larger debt carriers can expect relief over time. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell was asked why the drop was only 1/4% as opposed to 50, and here's what he had to say.
I think we were right to wait and see how tariffs and inflation and the labor market evolved. I think we're now reacting to the much lower level of job creation and other evidence of softening in the labor market, and saying, well, those risks are maybe not fully balanced, but moving in the direction of balance now, and so that warrants a change in policy.
As you heard Powell say, he was talking about a slow labor market. Only 22,000 jobs were added in August, which is much lower than the 75,000 that was expected. Now, the last time the Fed cut interest rates was in December, shortly before Trump took office. Powell also said the rate will be cut at least 2 more times before the end of 2025. That is the latest from the newsroom. Linda, I'll see you back again at 5 o'clock.
All right, Antoine, thanks. Some good news, bad news there sort of thing. Well, a bid to create a casino in the middle of Times Square appears to be dead in the water. The proposal, backed by Caesars and rapper Jay-Z, was denied today by an advisory committee. We're going to get right out to Arthur Chan, who is in Times Square right now with all the details on that. Arthur.
Linda, not a good day for those who bet on casinos coming to New York City, including the likes of Jay-Z. Both that Times Square bid and the casino bid for Hudson Yards, both of them were killed today. The votes came from the CAC, which is a community advisory committee, which is mandated by the state to consider those casino bids in those respective neighborhoods. Now, real estate developer SL Green spearheaded the Caesars Times Square casino bid, and Silverstein Properties spearheaded the Avenir casino bid for the west side. Now, both promised to inject local neighborhoods with hundreds of millions of dollars, but ran into a massive backlash from those same communities that were worried about crime, poverty, and traffic that they said would come with those casinos. The CEO of Silverstein Properties expressing disappointment. They submitted their proposal last. He said they met with local residents repeatedly to make sure everything they asked for was included in their proposal.
Housing was on the list, safety was on the list, jobs were on the list, restaurants were on the list, a good hotel, because we're 1 block from the Javits Center, was on the list, and we began putting together that proposal, and before we formally submitted it, we wanted to have all of our ducks in a row.
Meanwhile, the CEO of SL Green bitterly yelled at members of the committee after his Times Square casino proposal was voted down by a 4-2 vote. That CEO called the board cowards for denying benefits to the city. Meanwhile, we should point out that Caesars, in a statement, said they thanked the committee for being able to work with them and will continue to look for ways to serve New Yorkers. But reaction on the street was the polar opposite of that CEO, with members of the community celebrating the fact that casinos will not be coming to their neighborhood. There are other proposed locations locations, however, including Coney Island, and billionaire Steve Cohen's got a proposal for a casino to go in by Citi Field in Flushing, Queens. Some residents here in Times Square here in Times Square today had this to say about why, up against big money, they were still able to win.
We are a very large voting bloc, and I have to say our elected officials know that. So part of this whole fight was just impressing upon them and reminding them that we do vote, we're very active, and we kind of all banded together.
Every time I would talk to somebody about it, I would say, just tell 3 people. A lot of people told 3 people, a lot of people told 10 people. It's so easy to do. You know the people who live down the hall from you. I mean, even if you don't have tea with them, you can at least engage in a conversation while you're waiting for the elevator.
Now, Albany had planned to award 3 downstate casino licenses by the end of this year. These were largely seen as David versus Goliath fights, but now that David has won in 2 of these fights, it certainly makes it clear that the remaining CAC votes for the rest of this month are not necessarily sure bets for the casino, for those who are hoping to put casinos in, rather. We're live in Times Square. Arthur Chen, Fox 5 News. Linda, back to you.
You know, Arthur, before you go, one of the big things there about Times Square, there's so much congestion already. And, you know, the people who live and work in that area and the Broadway community were saying, look, we don't need more people here. We don't need more traffic. You're going to be actually taking away from our ability to make money by putting the casino here.
Right, but there was a counterpoint that casinos generally take money away from people, right? That revenue that's generated is generated from people losing money from gambling. So the counter argument to that was that in Times Square you would actually have non-New Yorkers. So that was the pro argument. But yes, of course, there are a lot of people here say the value of Times Square is it being a theater district, not it being a casino district.
All right, Arthur, thanks so much. All right, in the meantime, the public got the chance to weigh in on those plans for the $8 billion Metropolitan Park Casino development near Citi Field. Now, Arthur was just talking about that. Residents, unions, local business owners, community boards, and nonprofits all attended yesterday's hearing, but it ended up being cut short because of heated confrontations between supporters and critics. Now, supporters cited economic benefits for the Queens community, while those against the project criticized the timing of the meeting, saying that many people could not attend because they were working. And another major endorsement for Democratic mayoral candidate Zoran Mamdani. Assembly Speaker Carl Hastie now throwing his support behind the Democratic Socialist candidate. Now, this comes after Governor Kathy Hochul also just endorsed Mamdani. Hastie says he supports Mamdani's initiatives like free universal child care and free buses. Well, earlier today, he told the media exactly why he likes Mamdani.
One of the things that's been great about Zoran's campaign is he has a romantic view of what the city can be and should be. And, you know, sometimes people want to be romanced. And I think that Zoran has done that. And he's given a positive vision of what it is. So that vision, I'd say our likenesses of what we think this city can be.
And Assembly Speaker Hastie says he would also support raising taxes on millionaires and corporations. And for continuing coverage of New York City's mayor's race, you can tune in to Battleground NYC, the fight for your vote. That is hosted by the lady you see right there, SE Cup. You can catch that weeknights at 7 o'clock on the Fox Local app, and then at 11 p.m. right here on Fox 5 after the 10 o'clock news. All right. It's that time of day now. We're going to get a check on the weather. You know, the shot outside is pretty. New York City's always pretty. But Audrey Puente joining us right now. It's a little nasty outside. I mean, the temperature's warm, but we got that drizzly, dreary feel out there.
Yeah, you know, some parts are getting some steady rainfall, Linda, which we're going to look at on the radar in just a moment. And we're going to leave in the chance for some showers. Even if you haven't seen any yet, there's still a threat as we move along through our evening. There's even a chance of an isolated thunderstorm, too, as we go through the next several hours. We are expecting a sunny finish for the week and a warm one, too. Enjoy it because we are going to turn cooler cooler for the weekend. We also have our next named tropical storm. We'll talk about that coming up. Right now we have overcast skies being reported in Central Park with a temperature of 66. We're at 67 at LaGuardia, and Atlantic City's checking in with rain showers and a temperature of 68. So a lot of the rain has been working its way inland from the Atlantic Ocean here. We've seen kind of spotty rain showers earlier today, but now we're seeing more steady rain coming in across the Jersey Shore, where they've seen really the brunt of the rain today. From Atlantic Highlands all the way down towards LBI, it's a slick ride here on the Garden State Parkway. If you're heading on the Turnpike too, be aware that you could encounter some of these brighter shaded tones where there are some downpours happening here. Steady rainfall also being found across northwestern New Jersey, around Sussex and Warren counties. The city doing okay, so most of the 5 boroughs just clipping a shower or a shower clipping southern portions of Brooklyn right now. Up in the Hudson Valley, we've also catching some showers here right along the Hudson River near Putnam County, as well as towards Ulster County. And Long Island, not too bad, except out in the Hamptons, where you're getting a couple of light showers right now. So we're going to continue to see these showers kind of rotate in. I'll let you know when we'll finally dry out coming up. Linda?
All right, Audrey, thank you. We'll see you in just a bit. Well, developing right now in Hoboken, people there dealing with yet another water main break. Parts of the area are under a boil water advisory following just the latest break happening there. Officials are saying emergency repairs are taking place at River Street and Hudson Place, and that some roads in the vicinity of the Hoboken Path Terminal are closed. Officials also say water does not have to be boiled for showering, for taking a shower or washing your clothes, but it must be boiled for 1 minute if you want to drink with it, cook with it, or brush your teeth. Now, another water main break took place earlier this week, also in Hoboken. City officials now saying the boil water advisory relating to that break has just been lifted.